Folks,
too much juice.
All right, here's what you call a skunked watermelon. I'm about to spit that one out on camera. That's, don't eat that. Woo, What's up, Lazy Dog fam? Hope all y'all are having an awesome day. It is Wednesday, July 24th here in South Georgia, and it's been a few weeks since we give you an update on these delicious watermelons behind me that we've been enjoying over the last few weeks. So today we're going to check on those, show you some of those, actually do some sweetness test on some of those, and try to answer the question of whether or not watermelons actually get sweeter after they're harvested. So the last watermelon video we did was actually on July 4th, so right about 3 weeks ago. And on that video, we showed you how we determine when we're going to pick the watermelons, how we look for that tendril right beside the fruit, and how we want to wait till that thing dries up completely. But we also talked about how they get better or get sweeter if you wait a little while after that tendril dries up completely, either leaving them on the vine or picking them, putting them in a shaded spot, letting them sit for about 5 to 7 days. And we kind of demonstrated that a little bit by cutting open a couple that we picked right out of the patch here and showed you how they were okay, but they weren't at peak ripeness. And so today I've got quite a few in the patch here behind me that need to be harvested. Also have several underneath the barn that have been sitting there about a week or so. So we're going to be able to compare those, taste test those, and do a bricks test on those and see just how sweet a watermelon we were able to grow this year. But before we do that, just a quick little update on our watermelon patch in general. Doesn't look as great as it did a few weeks ago. We've had a ton of rain lately, and a lot of rain isn't really good for a watermelon patch. So the plants don't look as great as they did. Some of that has to do with the fact that we've been in here trampling around picking watermelons. When you get too much rain, it can cause these watermelons to split like that one there has. So we have lost a few due to all the rain. There's still a decent amount left out there that needs to be picked. So let's walk around out here and see if we can find one ripe watermelon from each of the 3 varieties we have growing, the 2 seedless and then the 1 seeded pollinator variety, and then we can compare those to some of the ones that have been sitting under the barn for a week. So right here at the front of the plot, there's a really nice Cracker Jack right there. If we look down here, we can see that tendril right there is dried up completely. Probably been dried up for a while now because it's been several days since we picked any watermelon. So we'll grab that one. And then right here, we've got a Sangria that looks good and ripe. Again, we're looking for that tendril right there. You can see that thing's dried up nicely. So we'll grab this one. And then for our orange crisp seedless, I don't have as many of those out here because I didn't get as good a germination on those seeds. But this smaller one right here looks pretty good. I can see the tendrils dried up on that one too. So I've got those 3 that we just pulled out of the watermelon patch. And I'll grab one of each variety from these here that have been sitting in the shade underneath the barn. So we got an orange crisp there, got plenty of Cracker Jacks. That Sangria there looks like it's split a little bit. But there's one right there, one of those longer ones. We'll grab that one. All right, so I moved underneath the barn where it's a little more shady, a little more cool. And I could certainly try and test all these watermelons by myself, but it would only be right for me to have a world-renowned watermelon expert here to do this with me. Titus has tasted and sampled just myriads of watermelons throughout his illustrious career, and he is well known for his watermelon expertise, so he's going to help me out today. Okay, so let's start out with the ones that we just picked from the watermelon patch.
The orange.
We'll start out with the orange crisp seedless here. It's popping right open on us. We're going to get watermelon juice all over us, but that'll be all right, won't it, Tata?
Yeah.
So it's popping open. Oh my goodness. My goodness, look at there, y'all. Look how orange that is. That's going to be a good one. Are your hands clean? I guess it don't matter.
Nice.
All
yeah.
Right, let's sample it first, then we'll test it. Mercy. Mercy, mercy. What do you think about that? How you score that out of 10?
Probably a 7.
Just a 7?
A 7 out of 5.
7 out of 5. What about out of 10?
Nope, 7 out of 5. Decent.
Okay, just decent. Well, you're a pretty tough critic. I think it's pretty dang good. That's one of the better ones we've had. All right, let me get my little testing unit out and let's see what it scores, okay? All right, so here I've got my little bricks testing rig. This thing is pretty simple. You just put a sample of the juice on this surface right here, close it down there, and look through here, and it gives you a number. As far as watermelon sweetness goes and where that lands on the brick scale, anything over 9 is considered sweet, so 9 to 12 is good. Anything over 12 is really, really sweet. I think last year we had a Cracker Jack that was just a hair over 12, and then our Tropical Sunshine, which was a yellow seedless last year, gave us about 11.5. So if we can get something 13, that would be awesome, but anything over 12 is really, really good. So hold that for me there, Ty. So the way we want to do this is just kind of
It's a pipette.
Yeah, that's a pipette. We want to kind of mash this up here and get us a little juice going. That's what we need. We'll get us some of that juice in this pipette there.
Juice.
We're going to put it on this surface right here.
Tyler, what does it say? Tell me what it says.
Okay, hold on. Let me flip that over.
Tell me what it says.
And we'll take a look in here.
Tell me what it says.
Well, that one just says 8. That don't seem right, does it, Ty?
No.
That don't seem right. Well, that's what it says. It says 8. Let me try it one more time. I just can't believe that's only an 8. But it may be. There we go. That's a little bit better right there. That's about a 9.5. Still don't seem as high as it should be, but a little better than what we got the first time. Okay, now let's check. This Orange Crisp Seedless has been sitting under the barn for a week. This one's a little bit bigger here. This one should pop right open for us.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's popping right open. We're gonna see if this one is any. Careful. There you go. Well, that one isn't as orange as that first one was there. This one's got a little lighter color on it, Ty.
Yeah. Has a little bit of white in the middle, but sure does have more juice.
Pretty good. Pretty dang good.
Oh, in the middle, that's what.
That's the business right there. In the middle. All right, you ready to test this one?
Yeah.
Flip that over. Let's see what we got here. Right out of 10. So a hair bit sweeter than that other one, but not by much. I would have thought that other one would have been sweeter just given the color. It's a lot more darker orange, but this one ranked a little higher. And it could be these orange watermelons, although they are absolutely delicious, only rank so high on the sweetness scale. So let's test some red ones and see what we get there. All right, so now let's try our Cracker Jack Red Seedless. This one right here is the one that we just harvested from our watermelon patch. So let's get it cut open.
This looks like a juicy.
I think so. It's not popping open quite as well. Some of those orange ones were. Might have to drop this one pretty good to get it bust open, Ty.
Oh! Oh!
Oh, about losing a piece there. Here, you take that. Take that. Hold that right there. We don't have watermelon juice all over us.
Oh!
Mercy. I bet these folks don't like to hear us slurping on those watermelons. Anyway, pretty good looking melon right there. Not super dark red, but it tastes really, really good. Alright, so now let's get some juices flowing on this bad boy here. I need my knife. Kind of chop it up a little bit. And I can assure y'all, none of these watermelons will go to waste. They will all get eaten.
Yep, eaten by the
We have
chicken.
to cut a bunch of them open for the sake of science, right?
And we have to give them to the chicken.
We have to give some to the chickens too. Alright, so let's put our freshly picked Cracker Jack juice on there. See what we got there? Hot dog. So we got 10.5. A little more, about 10 3/4 on that one there. So sweeter than the orange one. So a little over 10.5 on the freshly picked Cracker Jack. Now we've got the smaller one here. It's been sitting in the barn for a week or so. I'm gonna give it a try.
That one's gonna pop open.
Think so? Popping open a little bit. There we go.
Oh, we got
It's a pretty watermelon right there, y'all. It's a little more red than that other one. Let's sample it, Tata. See what we got here, guy.
That's the sweetest one I tasted.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that one is really, really sweet.
Yeah.
Mm.
This one is gonna be 12.
You think we're gonna hit 12 with this one?
12.5 probably.
12.5. I ain't never had one that sweet. That would be pretty awesome. Let's see here. Ooh, no, not quite. That one's actually a little less than that other one. So that one's a little over 10 or so. So the best we've done with the Cracker Jack so far is about 10.5. And just so y'all know, I do have some water here behind me. I am cleaning off my pipette after each sample, so no contaminated samples here. Now let's cut some of these big seeded sangrias and see what we get with those. Alright, so here is that freshly picked sangria, that big one I showed you earlier. Let's give it a sample, Tata. Folks,
Too much juice.
alright, here's what you call a skunked watermelon. I'm about to spit that one out on camera. That's, don't eat that. Not good at all. Woo! It's a bad taste.
I think this one's gonna be
Let
better.
me get some good watermelon, get that taste out of my mouth. Mercy.
Why did you have to get good watermelon?
Alright, what's better? Now let's put this one. Been sitting under the barn a few days. We won't have anything to compare it to. I ain't gonna go picking nerding. But let's see here. So here's our sangria. It's been sitting underneath the barn. This one looks a lot better than that other one there.
That's not a cup.
Yeah, this one tastes fine. Not super sweet though. Still good.
I said
Not
it
as
would
sweet
be.
as I expected it to be.
I thought it was gonna be sweeter.
I did too. Yeah. About 8.5 on that one right there. Our taste buds didn't lie to us right there. Sweet, but not super sweet. Yeah, the Cracker Jacks were the sweetest. Man, those orange ones, they're so good. They're so good. I almost think they taste maybe a little bit better than the Cracker Jack, but that Cracker Jack's really good too. Not really sure why the orange doesn't rank up there higher on the Brix test. Now, if I had to pick a favorite here, regardless of what the Brix test says, it would be this Orange Crisp, this one with a deep orange color. I know the Brix test didn't say it was the sweetest, but man, out of the 6 we cut, this is the best tasting one in my opinion. And then the Cracker Jack here would be a very close second. That Sangria is a great watermelon. A lot of people grow it. Probably one of the better seeded varieties out there on the market now. But these two seedless ones here are a little bit better in my opinion. And so we've still yet to grow a watermelon that had a Brix rating of 12.5 or higher. And maybe the rain is to blame for a lot of that this year. Although these watermelons here taste absolutely delicious, I do know that when you get a lot of rain, a lot of moisture, that can kind of water down the flavor or the taste of the watermelons. I haven't ran my irrigation on my watermelons in quite a while just because we've been getting so much rain. So maybe we can blame it on the rain. But we're not going to go hungry around here. We're going to keep eating these watermelons. Yeah, we've lost a few blowing up because of all the rain. But we've probably still got, I don't know, 10 or 12, maybe 15 good watermelons out there that we need to harvest this afternoon, put underneath the barn. And they usually keep pretty well underneath the barn for a couple weeks until we get to them. And to answer the question at the beginning of the video, does a watermelon get sweeter after it's harvested? I've always thought it does. I've always felt like it does, but I can't scientifically prove it. As we demonstrated earlier with all those bricks tests, there wasn't that much difference between the ones we just harvested and the ones that have been sitting underneath the barn here. Now, maybe if we would have chosen some out there in the watermelon patch that had just dried up, or the tendril had just dried up, we would have seen more of a significant difference between the two, but we didn't really see anything significant here today. But let me know in the comments below what you think. Either just via a hunch, you just feel like they're sweeter after they sit a little while after being picked, or maybe you've actually tested it and can prove that they're sweeter after being picked. And if you want to learn more about how to grow your own delicious seedless watermelons like this, watch this video where we'll walk you through the toughest part of the process, which is getting these seedless seeds to germinate. So we'll show you all the tips and tricks on this video. Check that out. We'll see you next time right here at Lazy Dog Farm.